Cair Heating and Cooling, they care about your comfort. They also care about veterans, and we're going to find out why. Kevin Clapp is with us now, and he is the president, CEO, founder, right?
Yes, sir.
of Cair Heating and Cooling. They do care about your comfort, and I know right now we're starting to worry about this cold snap that's starting to hit us. But first, today's Veterans Day.
Yes,
it means something special to you. I say it every time you come on, but I mean it. Thank you for your service. But to you, this is a special day.
Yes, sir. This is a day to just remember everyone that has fought for our freedom, not only ours, but many other people around the world, to make sure that we have the opportunity for even guys like me just to sit here and talk to you about heating and cooling, and to remember the people that have served and the people that have fallen.
You know, I have to tell you this, Kevin, without you even telling me that you served in the military, I knew it. And the reason being, I have quite a few friends, Victor, Jim, all these guys, and they have this integrity thing about them. That's really important to them. And you can see it when you talk to them. They connect with you, and you see, hey, if I say something, I mean it.
Yes, sir.
And in business, that translates, doesn't it?
It's a huge thing. A lot of people have lost the understanding of what integrity and customer service has to do with it. We run into very often that we'll have to go out for a second opinion on something where the compressor on the outdoor unit, the homeowner was told was no good, or the heat exchanger on the furnace, now that we're coming into the wintertime, that it's no good. And we found that the previous company has disconnected wires or showed homeowners pictures of heat exchangers that they've shown over and over to previous homeowners, and when we test out the system, there's nothing wrong with it. It just need to be plugged back in, or the disconnect put back in. But the technicians for the other companies are getting paid a commission. The higher their ticket is, the more their paycheck is, and our guys get paid by the hour to do the job right. And people are getting swindled out of tens of thousands of dollars for something they don't even need.
Yeah, you saying that really, one, it opens my eyes up. Two, it disappoints me. I can tell it bothers you as well. You know, that lack of integrity does not sit well with you. And I think that's why you've done so well here, Kevin, because word of mouth, people talk. And they say, well, you know what, I thought I needed this. I had this high bill. I checked with Cair Heating and Cooling. It was a lot lower. They said, hey, let's wait a year. Let's check it. Let's do a little tune-up. Speaking of that, let's talk about a tune-up. 17 points?
17 points.
How's it work?
We're going to go through the whole system. We're going to check out your heat exchanger, your blower motor, your inducer motor, everything. We're going to check all the belts and everything inside of the unit. And if you're not getting your system tuned up, even I had reps in from Indianapolis for the Bryant manufacturing, and they were in and even talking about how most warranties now, to get your 10-year parts warranty, you have to have a service plan, because if something goes wrong, they have the right to ask you for your service records, because if it's not maintained, your warranty is voided. And also, by maintaining your systems on a regular basis, that's where instead of getting 15, you're getting 20, 25, 30 years, because I've been doing this almost 20 years myself, and you'd be surprised at how many houses I've gone into that as soon as I look at the unit, I could tell it's maintained, because it looks brand new and it's 15 years old. And when you talk to the homeowner what their costs on repairs have been like, I've never had to have it repaired, or I've had very small, because it's just like your car. If you drive your car for 15,000 miles in between oil changes, that engine's not going to last long.
Wow, you see, that makes perfect sense. I'm glad you helped me out with that. So for folks right now, there's a lot of folks who've been waiting to turn on their heater. I have to admit, I've had mine on for about a week now. But do you recommend, like, starting it up and testing it just in case, right?
Well, you could start your furnace up if you used it in last season. What I would suggest is, don't wait until January. Don't wait until around Christmas to get a tune-up. Right now is the best time. We're coming up into that cold spell. We've already seen Kevin talk about how the weather coming in from the west this week. There's a chance of snow next week. And if you can't get used to being in the Midwest, 70 degrees today, it could be 35 tomorrow. And if you don't have that furnace checked to make sure it's going to work properly, but also it's safe, because you have to remember, your gas is carbon monoxide. If you don't make sure that heat exchanger is good in the vent and everything else, that's where you're going to run into problems where, unfortunately, carbon monoxide is known as the silent killer, because you don't smell it, you don't see it.
Wow. So there's so many reasons. We could go through a grocery list of reasons why you should call Cair Heating and Cooling, but number one is they are trustworthy. Ask your friends, check out the reviews. It's all good. Okay. For those who there may be somebody watching right now, Kevin, who's going, look, I need a new system, and I'm pretty aware of it now. You have a special going on right now. Let's talk about that.
$49.95 is our promotion. It'll get you your furnace, an air conditioner, a coil, a new 10-year warranty. It gets you covered for the next 10 years. And energy savings, this is the time to get a system too, because the government has already indicated within 2 years they're coming out with a new energy code that is going to make it so you have to, in the future, you're going to have to buy even more efficient equipment than you do now because of the new regulations that are coming out.
Let's say someone out there has been smart. Perfect case scenario. They've been calling Cair Heating and Cooling, been taking care of their system, but it has hit the point where they need a new one. What would be some of the indicators that you go, okay, I may need to look at a new system or at least have my current one repaired? What would be the indicators?
It's not keeping up. It's plain and simple. The efficiency on furnaces break down over time, but also the blower motor and everything that's putting the heat out and the cold air out, it breaks down just like our bodies do over time. So what you have to do in that situation is if you see an increase in utility cost, and it's not just because the utility companies are raising their price, but you're noticing you're using, look at your LG&E bill, and it'll talk to you about how much you consumed this year compared to last year.
Okay,
pay attention to that, because if you're not doing anything outside of the norm and your energy consumption is going up from the previous year, that means your system is working that much harder, eating that much more gas. And you know, your furnaces are 80, 92, 95, 96%, but those break down over time. So a lot of people sit there, well, I've had my furnace since the 80s and I never had a problem. Well, that 80% efficient furnace in the 80s is in the 60% now. So that means for every dollar that you put in on your heating bill, there's at least 30 cents going out the roof or out the side of your house. So you're losing 30% of your investment from day one. And with a new furnace, they're a lot more efficient now. You could get a 95%. You're going to use up to 50% less energy consumption because it's saving you on gas and electric.
Wow. Okay, so if someone's watching right now, they need to either have that 17-point inspection or they're needing a new system. I know you're very busy this time of year.
Or just a service call.
Or just a service call. If they need that, they call you, go on the internet. What's the way to set up an appointment, Kevin?
You could call into our office at 502-708-2247 number. You could go on our website. On our website, you'll find coupons such as a free service call for new customers, plus a percentage off on your repair. We have a lot of different assets that you could go in to try to make it customer friendly so they could find out the information. We could get out there as soon as possible. We're usually getting out there that day if we can. If it's not that day, then definitely by the next day, but we're going to get you taken care of. And we have a 24/7 service department, so if you have an issue on a Saturday or Sunday, Christmas Eve, New Year's Day, we're there for you.
Wow, there you go. Cair Heating and Cooling, they do care about your comfort. As you can tell, he's very passionate about it. Before I let you go, Kevin, again, happy Veterans Day to you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your service. All right, we'll take a little break here, and then we're going to talk about some